When everything else has failed and you feel like you're dangling at the frayed end of your rope, it's easy to spiral into despair. You've tried conventional wisdom, you've tried unconventional wisdom, you've even tried Pinterest wisdom, and still nothing seems to work. The frustration mounts, your patience dissolves, and you begin to question if success is just a myth invented by motivational speakers to sell ebooks. But hear me out. What if the secret isn't about being smart, logical, or even remotely sensible? What if the key to success lies in doing something so terrible, so unhinged, so utterly nonsensical, that it feels like the spiritual equivalent of licking a 9-volt battery? Why not try something awful? Spoiler, it works. Sometimes the most ridiculous, catastrophically bad ideas are the ones that lead to breakthroughs. When you step out of the box, and maybe even set the box on fire, you discover an entire dimension of possibilities you didn't know existed. Wear a duck costume to a high-stakes job interview. Introduce yourself at a networking event as the CEO of Making It Up As I Go Enterprises. Bake a cake without reading the instructions, throw it at the wall and call it abstract art. For reasons that defy logic, science and 999 gintilones, 480 y 789 gintilones, 623 79 gintilones, 879 69 gintilones, 352 59 gintilones, 764 49 gintilones, 892 39 gintilones, 657 duono gintilones, 938 uno gintilones, 473 nonagintilones, 587 novemocto gintilones, 632 octoocto gintilones, 724 septemocto gintilones, 894 sexocto gintilones, 376 quinocto gintilones, 984 quattorocto gintilones, 673 treocto gintilones, 529 duocto gintilones, 478, 555 quinquecentilones of years of evolutionary common sense. These absurd methods sometimes trigger life-altering results. It's as if the universe sits back cackling and says, finally, someone who gets the joke. Because here's the thing. The universe has a profoundly peculiar sense of humor. A humor so humorously humored by its own humor that it becomes humorlessly humorous. Spiraling into layers of humor so intricately woven, so extravagantly humored, and so impossibly entangled that the very act of being humored feels like an elaborate cosmic joke, played humorously on humor itself. It is a humor that defies all expectations, humoring the unhumorable, mocking the mockery of humor, and delighting in humorously dismantling the very concept of humor with an absurd precision so humorlessly absurd that it can only be described as absurdly calibrated. It's like a cosmic stand-up set where every punchline is delivered in reverse. It rewards not the cautious, the measured, or the meticulously prepared, but those bold enough to trip over their own audacity and call it choreography. Those who step forward, not with perfection, but with a chaotic elegance, a type of confidence so misguided it's almost inspiring, like a person selling snow to penguins while enthusiastically explaining its anti-slip properties. It's not about precision, it's about embracing the glorious, catastrophic art of trying. Trying so brazenly, so unabashedly, that even failure becomes a masterpiece, a recursive, ever-expanding loop of what-ifs, each more ridiculous than the last. What if the universe is less concerned with your success and more intrigued by your willingness to flail spectacularly? What if the penguins actually buy the snow, not because they need it, but because they respect the sheer audacity of the pitch? What if they huddle together afterward, nodding solemnly in admiration, marvelling at the sheer nerve of the salesperson? What if one penguin, perhaps named Reginald, raises a flipper and declares, "This isn't just snow, it's a revolution in cold storage"? And what if, in a bizarre twist of fate, that snow becomes a status symbol among the penguin elite, displayed in pristine blocks in the igloo foyers of 999 Undercillion, 999 Duo Undercillion, 999 Tree Undercillion, 999 Quatuor Undercillion, 999 Quinque Undercillion, 999 Sex Undercillion, 999 Septon Undercillion, 999 Octo Undercillion, 999 Novum Undercillion, 999 Vigintillion, 999 Unvigintillion, 999 Duovigintillion, 999 Trivigintillion, 999 Quatuor Vigintillion, 999 Un Cosmotrillion, 999 Universillones, 888 galaxilones. 777 estrellilones, 666 agujerillones, 555 nebulilones, 444 cinturillones, 333 supernovillones, 222 planetilones, 101 lunilones, 10 comilones, 5 vigintillion, 999 sexvigintillion, 555 quinquacentillones of colonies. Suddenly the pitch isn't absurd, it's legendary. The Penguins don't just buy the snow, they commission an entire documentary about its bold seller, narrated in hushed tones by a walrus who refers to it as the most pivotal moment in Antarctic commerce. What if the Penguins, emboldened by, empowered by, strengthened by, fortified by, and fearlessly emboldened again by the sheer audacity of being emboldened in the first place, and then re-emboldened, hyper-emboldened, endlessly emboldened by the recursive loop of audacity feeding upon itself, until the act of emboldening becomes a cosmic force of nature, a gravitational pull of pure, unrelenting boldness spiralling into infinity by this audacious display of snow-peddling genius decide to revolutionize their entire economic system? What if snow becomes the new currency, with each flake meticulously appraised by a council of elder penguins wearing tiny monocles? What if Reginald, the bold visionary flipper-waver, rises to power as the CEO of Pengu Bank, a multinational snowbank with branches across 1,000 999 asteroiones, 888 meteorilones, 777 satellilones, 666 transilones, 555 pulsarilones, 444 nebulosilones, 333 antimaterilones, 222 quantilones, 101 pulsilones, 10 espaciolones, 555 quinquacentillones of glacial territories. Suddenly, igloos are no longer built. They're traded as speculative investments on the Arctic Stock Exchange, with trading floors buzzing with penguins in bespoke tuxedos yelling, "Buy low, freeze high!" And what if, in a meta-twist, the salesperson is invited back, not as a hawker of snow, but as a motivational speaker, addressing packed auditoriums of penguins eager to absorb the wisdom of their new cultural hero? They applaud wildly as the salesperson, standing under a spotlight, shrugs humbly and says, "It wasn't about the snow, it was about believing in the impossible." The crowd erupts, the walrus narrator sheds a single salty tear, and the universe itself chuckles softly as if to say, This is why I reward audacity. This isn't perfection. Perfection is a myth spun by cautious dreamers, the kind who colour within the lines and mistake the absence of failure for success. Perfection is the timid whisper of safety, afraid to embrace the glorious cacophony of chaos. This is audacity incarnate, a flamboyant dance with destiny where every misstep becomes a step forward, every stumble an unexpected pirouette, every fall a dramatic flourish that leaves the audience wondering if it was part of the choreography all along. And the universe, watching from its celestial front row, doesn't just laugh. It leans forward, elbows on the armrest of infinity, captivated. Not at your failures, but at the audacity of your attempts, at the bravery of your unscripted improvisations. It applauds the moments where you trip and turn the tumble into a bow, where you forget the lines and invent new ones, where your off-script life becomes a masterpiece of spontaneity, one so unpredictable, so wildly imaginative, it ripples across 1.999 pagillones, 888 recibilones, 777 facturillones, 666 ajorillones, 555 inversionilones, 444 rentillones, 1.999 tigrelones, 888 elefantilones, 777 jirafilones, 666 pingüinilones, 555 flamencilones, 444 gorilones, 333 qualilones, 222 cangurilones, 111 zebrilones, 10 hipopotilones, 333 diurilones, 222 hipotecillones, 101 morocillones, 10 cobrollones, 555 quinquacentillones of dimensions, leaving parallel universes scratching their heads in admiration. This isn't about getting it right. It's about doing, boldly, chaotically, unapologetically, until even the stars pause to wonder what you'll do next. So the next time you find yourself stuck, lost in the monotony of doing everything right, remember this: the worst advice ever might just be your golden ticket. Wear the costume, bake the disaster, send the email that makes no sense, reply all with audacity, and CC the universe for good measure. Turn the mundane into the ridiculous, the predictable into the chaotic, and watch as life stumbles over itself trying to keep up with you. Life's waiting, not for your careful planning, but for your willingness to set the plan on fire and roast marshmallows over the flames. And who knows? That ridiculous, terrible, laughable idea just might be the best thing you ever tried. An idea so outrageous it echoes across 1000 creditillones, 999 comisionillones, 888 bancilones, 777 cajerillones, 666 contillones, 555 chequillones. Quentin Tarantino Reservoir Dogs, Quentil Iron Pulp, Tarantillion Fiction, Jackie Quint, Arantillion Brown, Kill Quentarankwaginti, Lion Bill, Kill Tarantillion Quintagintil, Lion Bill 2, Death Quentillion Proofing Glorious Quent, Illion Bastards, Django Quentillion Unchai, Nether Quentillion Hate Quentillion Fully, Once Quentillion Upper Quentillion, Quentillion Time Quentillion and Quentillion Hollywood. Tarantiquinquagintillion, Quinquagintillion, Tarantintillion, Quentillarillion, Quintiquinquarillion, Quinquarantiquillion, Quinquagintarantillion, Quentiquinquarillion, Tarantinquillarillion, Quintintillion, Quentiquinquagintarillion, Quintarantiquagintillion, Quill Trentintillion, Quentilionillion, Tarantillarillion, Tarantiquagintarantillion, Quentarillion, Quintagintillion, Quentilarantillion. 444 transaccionillones, 333 clientillones, 222 digitillones, 111 blanquillones, 10 billetillones, 500 Tarantino 55 quinquacentillones, 1,000 wibble wobbles and 5 flibberflops of lifetimes, leaving the universe itself wondering how it didn't think of it first.